Hey everyone, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Thanks for joining me for this Try It Tuesday video. If you'd like to see what I've done so far, stick around. What's up friends, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Today I'm sharing what I've done so far and kind of catching you up because I realized in some of my last video footage I did not. And so I tried to share what I've done so that you can see kind of the progress of how it's going. So I'm not going to do a talking walkthrough because I've already done it for at least this portion. Once I get to the part where I know I kind of dropped the ball and did not, I will be a little bit more descriptive, but this is just kind of giving you like a refresher. This was day one at Hollywood Studios, and this is what I did, I think in my last video, this page. So you can see I talked about adding the trim to the end afterwards. That's really all I did. So I remember talking about it. Okay, so then once we end our first full day, the next day was Epcot, and I had shared this process. So this I added, this chipboard piece from Vicky Boutin, along with this star and this little photos chipboard. And I think that's all I added here. I still didn't add anything underneath this flip out, so I have an opportunity to do that or to stamp or add some other embellishing. I'm not sure what will go there or if anything will go there. I'm not sure that I added these puffy stickers, so those are on there now. And I also completed this that's where I stopped last week's video. So since then, I added this thicker that says Magic. It's the perfect shade of green. It came from a Dear Lizzie thickers collection by American Crafts. And then we have the Journey of Water. So I added just some word phrase stickers. Look at that, just wild, enchanted. And then I journaled. This was a self-guided trail where you play with water as it travels from the sky to the ocean and back again. There are lots of magical encounters to play with as you walk through. You can play with and interact with water, use your arms and hands to make it rise or arc from spout to spout, or jump up and down to watch it explode up high, which is what Nora's doing here. You can get wet if you choose, or a dry path is available. Nora really enjoyed this part of the park, especially the interactive parts. We also love the way it felt like you were on Moana's island. And then I just put Wander and Wonder, the backside of water, and Happiest Place Ever. Even though this is meant to go for, to be used with the Jungle Cruise, because that's like an inside joke that they say when you're on the Jungle Cruise. But I thought it was perfect for this photo because we're coming through the backside of the water. So there's all of our different photos from the journey. I think I showed them in the last video, and then you flip it over, and I was talking in the last video about how it took a while to engineer this because, in theory, you're kind of trying to figure it all out, right? And then when you go to put it together, sometimes it ends up being something different. So these are some little mini thickers from Paige Evans. I'm missing the little dot for the exclamation point. I think I'm just going to take that off. So it just obviously says Aquachu's character dining, and then I stamped the date. I don't love the way this turned out, but it is what it is. I wrote announcing the Royal Chapman family because that's what they say when you're waiting outside to go in to your table. And then I put magic moments and fun. So 3 die cuts, and then some little enamel dots, a couple little sparkle sprinkles, and this fairy tale stamp. Then you can flip it up, and there is the menu with our main meal and dessert, and then Nora with all of the different princesses. So this year, the only difference was that she got to meet Tiana versus last year she had Cinderella, I think. And then you can pull up, and there's a little card, and I wrote on the back, this was our second year in a row going to dine with princesses at Akershus in Norway. Nora requested it even though we tried to convince her to try a new place. The food was better this time, so Matt and I were pleasantly surprised. We loved our server. He was extra chatty and friendly. We especially loved Ariel and Snow White. Interesting, Snow White was our favorite last year too. So a little bit of journaling hidden there. And then I squeezed 5 photos onto this 4x6 grid. So I have the picture of the World Celebration, and inside there is where Figment is, the journey into Figment. So these are some pictures from that ride. And if you follow me on Instagram, Nora stole my phone and was narrating how we were stuck on this ride for a while, which was kind of funny. And then those are pictures from Test Track. And I did a tiny bit of journaling tucked in here. A first journey into imagination with Figment, we figured why not? It was definitely older for a ride. Nora and Matt didn't know who he was. We got stuck on the ride, but only for about 10 minutes. And then Test Track, we love this ride. Nora enjoyed it even more because she kept trying to design a fast car. The best part is the track. It goes up to 65 miles per hour outside. We rode this twice. So that's the journaling for these. And I kind of just have it tucked in at the top. And this was the ending of the night, obviously. Luminous, the Story of Us fireworks show. And I ended the day, as I planned to, for all of the days with a list, just a bullet list of the places we ate and the things that we did, whether they were experiences or rides. That's the order they happened in. And then day 3, I didn't film. It was our, quote, rest day, where we went to Disney Springs. So I, again, used the magazine brochure as my background, but I also cut out all the different places that we went. So we went to the World of Disney store, Disney's Days of Christmas, Coca-Cola, the Lego store, Uniqlo, and the M&M store. I didn't see Anthropology on there, but we also went there. And then I just used this paper, and it's from American Crafts, and I just cut out around Minnie's head. Just thought that added a little fun element, and it went with the magazine page. Then I created a little pocket on the back side of this. So I have a paper clip and all of the ephemera from this day with journaling. So I spelled out Disney Springs and I bulleted some journaling about it. Rest day, the day we got sugar nuts. Wednesday, it seemed like a great midweek day to take a rest day, though nothing about it felt restful. Not in a bad way, but just the truth. This was a first for us. It was very lovely to walk around and be surrounded by stores, shops, and really fun places to eat. Nora used her Disney gift cards to get her first Loungefly book bag. So cute. World of Disney was overwhelming in the best way. Matt and I got new t-shirts. We did tons of window shopping and treat eating and drinking. We got Starbucks, Coke flights, candy, and the best Dole Whip floats. And then I just took some washi and I put that on this little pocket that I made. I did the day 3 thing because I also had at the beginning, I have day 2, and then on this one, where is it? Day 1. And then this actually was on this I ripped off of our float tray that we got with all the different types of Dole Whip. So I saved that and used that there. And so there's Nora, like we were eating our Dole Whip at this table by the water, and you can see like the other side of Disney Springs, and this is right outside of World of Disney. Here, let me zoom in. Maybe that's too much. My bad. So there's World of Disney outside of it. Nora had just gotten her book bag. This is the one she chose. This is in front of like one of the pin, I forget what it's called, but it's like a trading pin place. And then we went and got her some more gummy candy at Goofy's candy store. We had this series of Dole Whip floats. It was amazing. I think this one was like cherry limeade with a cherry. This one was, that is cotton candy. I forget what's in that. And this was like pineapple. And there's a slice of pineapple. And then this was just inside. There's Orange Bird and Nora inside of one of the other stores. And I just use this piece of acetate from, it's American Crafts, but it's, it's from a collection. I can't think of the name of it. My bad. This was also taken, so where we had our Dole Whip was right over here, and then this is the opposite side of Disney Springs with like this big pond in the middle. And then, see, there's the big pond. Sorry, I thought I was on frame. This really cool Loch Ness monster built out of Legos. There's Nora with the peanut M&M who was inside the peanut store, so that was awesome. Nora outside the Lego store. We have tons more pictures I left out because I'm afraid of this getting too thick. I can always go back and add more, but these were like my absolute, like, non-negotiable, like, couldn't leave them out. The Rainforest Cafe actually, like, has a volcano feature, which was really cool and unexpected. That went off while we were waiting for our Dole Whip. This was outside of the seasonal Christmas store with all the ornaments, outside of World of Disney. And that's us pretending to take a selfie in front of, it's like this photo op in front of the M&M store. So the ephemera bits I saved were one of Nora's gift cards that she got. This was us doing the Coca-Cola flight thing, which was really, really fun. So I saved this float tray card they give you with your floats. So it comes on this big tray. And these were the different ones. So you had a Coke float, Sprite, Fanta grape float, Coca-Cola cherry float, Pib extra float, Barks root beer float, Barks red cream float, and the Fanta orange float. And our least favorites, mine and Nora's, were the Sprite float, and Matt's least favorite was the grape float because he doesn't like grape anything. Matt and Nora loved the Coca-Cola cherry float, but he also loved the orange float. He said it was the tie, and I liked the orange float. And there's Nora in front of, like, that's on the rooftop where the Coca-Cola bar was. And then there's this another picture that I took of all of our floats. So it comes out on this really fun tray. And I just journaled, this was a hidden gem we almost didn't do, but turned out to be a highlight of our Disney Springs experience. Coca-Cola had a rooftop bar, and we decided to try this amazing float tray. It was so fun, and we enjoyed rating our most and least favorites. Cherry and orange were winners. And I just tucked this into this little vellum pocket here that I taped to the front of the pamphlet. And then this is the menu that Nora got to use at dinner. So we went to this place, obviously, called the Boathouse. That was the option for kids' meals. Of course, she got salmon because that's her favorite. And it was so cool because there is a car that you can drive that goes into water right next to it. We didn't pay to do that experience, but that's a pretty neat feature. And I love that it has, like, her, you know, her crayon markings on it. And, you know, that's just really fun. And then on the inside, I put this photo of the menu that I took. And then there's Nora's meal. And that, you probably can't tell in the picture, but this is in the shape of, like, that car that goes in the water. So it's like a cardboard cutout that they serve your food in, which I think is really fun. And then this is what Matt and I shared, and I love that they plated the crab cakes like this so it looks like Mickey. And then I just journaled, this was another amazing foodie find from the Gluten-Free Disney Facebook group. We were already drawn to the building because it was right on water, and it looked like a boathouse. Our server was excellent, but the food was absolutely incredible. Nora ordered the salmon and raved about the gluten-free pasta, which was smothered in butter. Plus, her meal came in a super cute cardboard boat. Matt and I shared a big salad and a delicious crab cake with coleslaw. It was also really lovely to sit down and slow down and enjoy our meal. We never want to leave. And I decided just to write it right on the paper. Like, I contemplated adding like a journaling card or some other piece of ephemera, but I just liked writing right on the paper. I just thought that was kind of fun. So, and I meant to include the picture of the boathouse, but I guess I did not, which makes me a little bit sad, I guess. So I have it tucked in here. This goes like this. And then the little card. Maybe I'll do it like this. And then I took my little paper clippy, and that way all the kids stay where they're supposed to stay. So that's where it got so far. I just wanted to share that update with you. Day 4 is going to be Animal Kingdom, which I have all of that pretty much printed out, and I have a good idea of what I want to do. So what I'm thinking is I have this grid I made, because there's no way I'd get all these photos if I didn't do these grids. Like, there's just no way. So I have these grids. There's Nora in front of Africa with her Starbucks and a bunch of the animals we saw on the safari, because the safari was the first thing we did right away in the morning because all the animals were out. I'm so loving that we got to see Mr. Lion up here. And there's the magazine. I have these photos I printed out already from Animal Kingdom, some favorites that I didn't feel like necessarily had to be in a specific place. So I'm going to use those to kind of put down this side. And then I'm going to create a like journaling card up here with journaling, duh. And then I have this picture I made in the Diptyque app. So there's Nora on the bridge into Africa, and different, so like after we did the jungle safari, we went through the gorilla area, and you can see, you can go through the bird sanctuary first. So we had these guides to show us what kind of birds we were looking at, which was really cool. And then the gorillas, which, oh, and the hippo, who was also en route to the gorilla sanctuary. So he was like underwater. It was so neat. So you can see him just chilling there. And there's the big gorillas. Look how cute. I love gorillas. We learned a lot about them. And this guy was like chilling off by himself because he's like the eldest and the most respected. So he was just kind of off on his own, observing and making sure, you know, all the younger ones were in line. So those are just some pictures from that section of the park. And then I just pulled a few pieces of like ephemera that I thought could potentially work for up here to decorate. Okay, then we went to the animation experience and we took the train to, I think it's called Conservation Station. So you take this little train, the Wildlife Express train, and you can pet, there's like a little petting area, so you pet the goats and the pigs. And then we did like a little drawing class inside, which is really cool. And that's my drawing of, oh my gosh, from Coco, the dog from Coco, which I have kept all of our drawings. So there's mine. And there's Matt's. And there's Nora's. So it's just so cool. I love that I kept those. And what my plan is, okay, so after that we took we left Animal Kingdom and went to Animal Kingdom Lodge and had lunch at Sana, and you got to see all of the wildlife around you. So like you're literally sitting at your table and there's like a giraffe just chilling outside. And I also captured this bird like coming in hot, which is crazy. So that's a screenshot from my stories because I was sharing this on Instagram when it was happening. So there was my meal, Nora's meal, and then they brought us they brought her ice cream, but they brought us a little special treat because it was our anniversary. And there was a zebra outside. Like, it was just awesome. It was one of like our favorite experiences. And so I'm going to keep inside, like, I'm going to make this giant pocket basically and sandwich the drawings and then the menu from Sana in between the two sides. So this was her little like kids menu thing, and there's her writing, which I'm going to love having. And lunch must have come because she stopped coloring. Let's see. But she did a bunch of this. They only gave us 2 colors. So like I did the red and she did the orange. And then this is like the meal. And then the back. So I'm going to sandwich that in between the first grid from lunch and then some of the other things we did at Animal Kingdom. So That's in Dinosaur Land. There we rode the Triceratops, and Nora met Daisy and then Chippendale, which was so fun. They were the best. They were squeezing her between them, which was so cute. And then we went to Pandora. We rode Avatar and Navi's River Journey. I love these photos I was able to capture. That's inside Navi's River Journey. And so that'll be on there. And then the last thing we did was, well, the Tree of Life show, or whatever it's called. But Expedition Everest, which was a first. And Nora did it twice. So I'm going to create something there. And then the last thing, obviously, is the picture of us in front of the tree before the show started. And then that's what we came back to in our room, which was so cute that they put all her stuffies and the sunglasses on them. It was adorable. And that's a space for me to do some journaling. So I will record what I can as usual and then come back at the end and just like, you know, I do share a little close-up of what I've done, but I'm going to get going and create some of these pages. And next week will probably be like the last day, so we'll have to see how that goes. All right, friends, well, let's go. Okay, so the first intro was like 20 minutes because I had to catch all up on what I didn't film. I did end up filming this almost the entire process for day 4. So I'm going to super speed this up so you guys are not here all day or edit out quite a bit. But what I did is decided to create a little flap, but I cut the wrong parts of it. It totally actually worked out because I just taped the backside. It was no big deal. Because underneath that, I'm going to put another photo of Nora with Moana. Even though meeting Moana was in Dinosaur Land area, I felt like it was kind of appropriate and a great little like opening photo. And once I get that to open correctly, I just take this scrap paper I have left over from an Echo Park collection that I purchased to do my California vacation album last year. And because we went to the San Diego Zoo, so I have this zoo paper. And it was kind of perfect just to back the photo of Nora with Moana. And then I decide to embellish the inside little windows there with just some plain paper. It's like this really old scrapbook paper I have, and one side of it is white, and it was just laying on my desk, so I figured, oh, this looks like a great size. I'll just use this. So I trimmed it down, and if I had thought I was going to do that before taping the photo down, I would have covered those inside flaps first, but I wasn't thinking. It worked out, though. It was fine. So I just embellished it with a few little word phrase stickers and a couple other embellishments, and then on the right side I can do my journaling about Kilimanjaro Safari. I edited out the part where I did the journaling, but all I did was put bullet points, and I wrote 18-minute open-air safari vehicle, 110 acres of wildlife, 34 different species of exotic African wildlife roam. We saw most of the animals because we went first thing in the morning. We loved the pond bathing hippo, the lion, flamingos, and baboon. And then I skip over to needing to put a title on this page. So I use my alphas from Paper Person Shop to spell out Kilimanjaro Safaris. And then I end up deciding I wanted to put the day 4 marker on the page, but I had nowhere to put it. So I trimmed down a piece of scrap vellum that I have and just hang it over the top of the picture of Nora so that I can spell out day 4. And then I just use my corner rounder to take this little Let's Explore cut apart from that same pattern paper that I used and called the front of that page good, and I love the way it turned out. Then I'm going to use the magazine insert for the Animal Kingdom page, and that I love that photo of Flight of Avatar, so I don't really want to cover it up. So I'm going to trim it down to fit the paper and then use this piece of scrapbook paper left over from the page I did at Hollywood Studios with Sully to cover up the rest of the page, and then I can trim down the photos and spread those out that I want to add on that part of the backside. And now it's just a matter of making sure the pictures are all about the same size and about the same space apart from one another. I love this picture my husband snapped of Kevin walking by us at Animal Kingdom. I was like, oh, Kevin! He's from Up, in case you don't know. And that's like one of my favorite Pixar movies. I love most Pixar movies, though, let's be honest. And then I think that's really all I'm going to do. Yep, there it is. Nice and close up. So stinking cute. Moving on to the next page, I took this card from Studio Calico because I knew I could cover up the little flower part, and I put this giant sticker from the where I got off scrapbook.com, and I love it because it has like the signs, and it's kind of like perfect timing to use it at this point in day 4, because it's like, well, we just did the safari, now we're gonna go to Gorilla Falls. So it's literally just me making sort of a filler card, but then also having this little spot to journal. And I love that I get to finally use these mini clipboard insert ephemera pieces. They're like 2 years old from Heidi Swap, maybe 3 years old. No, 2 years old. And I just did a tiny bit of journaling about how we loved Gorilla Falls. And I wrote, this self-guided tour was a gem we hadn't seen. The winding trail is a way to see so many other animals. We saw gorillas, hippos, zebra, and tons of birds. We love the meerkats too. And you can see that I had added a couple of the fancy schmancy brads. I don't know what the name is for those. And that's it, because I left the bottom photo plain because I love it. It speaks for itself. It doesn't need anything. So now I'm going to flip over and work on the next portion of this lovely day 4. And I decide, again, to use another little mini clipboard to do journaling about taking the little train to Conservation Station. So I'm playing around with placement, but I'm going to use this huge Let's Get Wild sticker because I think it pops out really well on this busy patterned paper. And then the clipboard, of course, where I can do my journaling. And I did a bunch of little bullets, and I said, we took the Wildlife Express train to this fun part of Animal Kingdom. We saw the vet treatment room, amphibians and reptiles, and the science center. We pet animals at the affection station. We learned to draw Dante at the animation experience inset. And that was like my favorite. I loved doing the animation experience. Nora kept getting frustrated because she wanted it to be perfect. So bless her. And then once I get all of that figured out, I put I put like a puffy heart too. And I think I add 3 of them. I do. And I'm going to leave the photos on the bottom the way they are. They don't need anything. So that's done. And then I do my hole punching to move on to the next portion where I'm going to create this giant pocket for housing the children's menu from Sada and all 3 of our drawings. So it's basically a giant sandwich. I use some 1/8 inch score tape. It's not going to do the trick. So I end up getting frustrated that it keeps opening up at the very end of like almost finishing this page. And I hand stitch using embroidery floss the 2 pages together. And I actually really like it. I thought about doing it at first, and I should have just done that initially. But I did it off camera because, again, it would have taken forever. And I am by no means a seamstress or talented embroiderer or sewer or knitter of any kind. So I do a terrible job of it. But it gets the job done, and it keeps all of the things that are supposed to stay inside this pocket. So I keep it really simple. The photos from lunch, I'm going to embellish with a whole bunch of stickers, which is so fun, I think. I'm just going to dip back into the stickers from scrapbook.com, and I put the giraffe sticker near the giraffe and a tiki torch. Those are from Simple Stories. Yummy treats underneath the picture of our dessert. And I add a few little like word phrase stickers to layer. So it's kind of like a few little clusters. Again, trying to stick with threes around the page and then accent those with some puffy hearts. And then I did a tiny bit of journaling on the top photo of the giraffe that says the animals right outside the window was a huge surprise. We were surprisingly shocked. What an experience, because we did not know that we were going to have lunch with a view. We thought that we were just having like a super delicious, allergy friendly meal for Nora, and had no clue that it was a restaurant surrounded by these crazy giant windows where you could see right outside to the savannah, and these animals are just roaming around while you're eating your food. It's just it was incredible. It was really like such a breathtaking experience. And then I'm going to use some older alphas I have from Studio Calico just to spell out Sana on the right hand side. I also end up adding a tiny journaling card, which is so random, but I wanted to add some more journaling, and I just decided to tape it to the menu. So I took this seeing card from Ali Edwards, and I just bullet journaled a little bit about this experience. So then on the back side of the pocket, I'm just going to add some labels and do a tiny bit of captioned journaling for each picture that I felt I wanted to add something. And I added some puffy hearts, and that is basically it. And then I'm going to do my embroidering off camera and then come back to finish the rest of this. So for this, I kept it pretty simple. I just wrote Expedition Everest, our first, and then added a little border with my Muji gel pen around the card. And then the picture of Nora is a flip up. So I embellish the front of the photo with a couple of word phrase stickers and the leftover look sticker that I had already cut out the binoculars from for a different part of this album. And underneath, I just add a 3x4 card from Studio Calico, and I put the Yeti or not sticker on that portion, and then the extra die cut Yeti on the bottom, and I bullet journaled about that. And I said I was nervous that this would be too scary for Nora. I was wrong, yay. We all rode together the first time. It was in the dark and outside and went backwards. We all loved it so much. Nora and Matt went a second time. It was a win. Best way to end the day. And it wasn't the last thing we did, because the last thing we did was the Tree of Life Awakening show, but it was the last ride we did. So I thought that was such a high to end an amazing day of exploration together. So once I have this flip up complete, and the picture underneath really doesn't need anything, so I just put the word phrase sticker that said, let's ride. I'm going to move to the bottom right corner of this decorative journaling card. And I took that Mount Everest cut apart and made it into a circle to break up some of the, hardness of all those like rectangular shapes. Then I used Pure Happiness and did some journaling about Legend of the Forbidden Mountain with my Zig Clean Color Dot marker and my gel pen. And I just took some information from the Disney site. So I wrote, board a train into the to the top of the world. We ascended into darkness before a broken, twisted track appeared. We were launched backwards to back to darkness and escaped the clutches of the Yeti. And then I'm just going to add a few little like puffy floral stickers, and that were from the Obed Marshall like collection. Add a little tab to the photo that flips up, and that's going to be it. I ended up doing the very last page to end the day off camera. So you guys will have to come back next week to see how that turned out. But that's going to be it for this very long process video for the day. I love how all of these pages came together. Here's the real-time flip through so you guys can see it without it being so rushed and sped up. I think it's beautiful, and I love that you can tell that all these pages go together. using a collection really helps out with that. So now you can see there's the stitching around the page. Plenty of room to hold the fun little bits and pieces. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you liked it, please give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of my other videos and lots of my other content. Take care and remember that you are enough. Love you guys. Bye.